Hello and welcome to Connection of the Month, the series where we take you inside the HSS Connections Hub. I'm Ted Goldstein, structural engineer with Atlas II, and this month we're going to be looking at the high strength connector, which is a off-the-shelf product from CAST CONNEX that you can use to make bolted connections between round HSS braces and gusset plates. So this is a really simple, efficient connector. Of course, CAST CONNEX is known for making elaborate custom castings, but they've also got some wonderful off-the-shelf products. So let's take a look at that here in the hub. Now, before we start with those connections, I do also want to show the updated home screen that we have on the hub. In addition to being able to access your new projects, we've now got additional resources like HSS design support from our engineering team or requesting a lunch and learn. We've also got updates on new calculators and new features that have been added. And since we're constantly making improvements to the hub, this is a great place to stay up to date. So with that, let's go ahead and look at those connections. So if we jump into our example project, we can go ahead and add a new calculation. And you can see now there's a new category, column bracing CAST CONNEX. And here we have two options. There's the high strength connector, which is a bolted connection and double shear that's going to allow that can be used in high seismic applications. And we also have the universal pin connector, which is great for architecturally exposed applications or non-seismic applications. So I've already gone ahead and started a high strength connector calculation. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So here we can see a few things that are a little different from a typical calculation. For one thing, of course, most of the connection is the same as any other bracing connection. You've got the connection from the gusset to the column, from the gusset to the beam. That's unchanged. But the connection to the brace, from brace to gusset, is now done with this casting. And this is a round brace, which is great because, of course, round members have the very best efficiency in axial loading. So what we can do is we can, of course, change the size of the brace. I'll leave it as is, since this is a pretty default connection. And we can choose the size of the connector, which, of course, has to match the brace. So we can do the weld between the two. One big difference between this and other connections is rather than specifying a bolt pattern or size, we actually have some preset bolt sizes and patterns. And these are all coming from the CAST CONNEX literature. So in this case, we've got 4 3/4 inch bolts, and you can see the pattern laid out there. Now, in this case, of course, we're actually a little bit over on our demand from the gusset itself, and that's due to the buckling check. But that can actually be addressed, surprisingly, by changing the bolt pattern. So if we go to 6 3/4 inch bolts, we've actually now moved that first bolt a little further back. We've made the Whitmore section larger. And by doing that, we can see that now actually we've got the gusset working at 83%. And we're now governed by the shear strength of the bolt group over here from the gusset to the column. So this has been very brief, but just to show these new calculations using the CAST CONNEX castings. We're really excited to have these in the hub. And these are just the first of a number of integrations that we're going to be including that incorporate technologies from other companies that make it that much easier to work with HSS. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next month.